Hi friends, my name is Crystal with Psychic MD. I want to thank you for joining me for today's pick a card. For your repeat offenders, thank you for showing up. And for the curious, I appreciate you being here as well. Today we're going to be picking from numbers and perhaps even images. If you've been seeing the numbers 11 or 1111 or 222, or 22, or the number 33, or 333, or the 44, or numbers 444, or if these images call to you in any sort of way, then this message is for you. I'll see what you're reading. Hi, pile 111 or pile 11. If you chose this pile, this message is for you. So I got us a little sage going on here, which I might need to turn off in a bit. We'll see how this burns though. If you've been drawn to the number 11 or 1111, one thing I want to say is me too. So this might be my pile too. We'll see. The first thing that I'm noticing on this card is the cord and the ship balancing on a sphere. And what I want to say about this is that I feel like this is for new beginnings, but everything is so nebulous, so cloudy. We're not even sure how we're going to accomplish things, where we're going perhaps. Maybe it's a new job change, relationship changes. But I feel like it's going to be a lot of changes for you guys in brand new beginnings. So change is good. Without change, we can't have the brand new beginning that we all want. But you could feel like everything is on a very fine line, kind of being balanced on a fine line. The ship isn't even sailing on the water. It's balanced on a sphere. So I feel like this could be saying that this ship is balancing on your sphere of reality, your sphere of clarity, and also your sphere of resources. So it's going to be really important to kind of take stock, take a moment without judgment, which is really hard to do, especially if you're in a place of fear or urgency, like the need to move, the need to get out, the need to begin something different. If you're feeling outside pressure in order to act, these could be all challenging and pressing situations. But the problem with that is that we can overlook a lot. So I feel like right now things are really, really nebulous with all the clouds in the background. You can have brain fog. You can have just a lack of clarity in general about situations, about where you're headed. So I definitely see a trip for some of you guys. You guys are definitely moving. And with the sphere of reality, it's, you know, there's a lot to be said about quantum jumping and different timelines and things like that. If that is your thing, then you already know what I'm going to say. You can actually quantum jump into a new time frame and make things easier for yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to say that it is still a very fine dance. This almost looks like hair. Almost like she's pulling somebody's hair right here, which is kind of interesting. And regardless of what it is I feel like you're being celebrated, like you're being reassured, okay? You don't necessarily know exactly how you're going to go about things, where you're going to go, but it's within your sphere of knowledge, of wisdom, of connections as well. And perhaps that very sphere, which seems very, clear, there's almost nothing to it, that is going to direct your path to a safer place, a better place, a place that isn't necessarily etched in stone. Because I feel like whatever you created thus far, whatever it is that you are leaving, whether it's a job, a person, a place, or thing, I feel like it's been long established. You've been doing this forever. You might even be celebrated for how you've done things in the past. But I feel like this lady is almost getting out of the shower. So she is just kind of pure naked, not knowing where she's headed. And I like the monochromatic colors as well. There is gold in here. I feel like there's an air of like innocence or purity about you that wants to move forward in the purest sense of the word. I don't feel like it's motivated by money, by glamour, by even necessarily like relationships. I feel like you're maybe, I heard the word altruism. But I feel like some of you guys are perhaps headed in a direction that is for pure reasons. For example, like to help mankind, to help humanity, to really extend your wisdom, your knowledge, your resources. Something that is completely new. She almost feels to me like a hermit that has burst open out of her shell and she can't continue living in that enclosed area anymore. So, oh, this is about, I didn't even look at the words balancing act. So it's going to be a balancing act for you. I feel like this could be connected also to your throat chakra. You could do some work with speaking, public speaking, or perhaps it is like therapy, offering non-traditional therapy for people, things like that. And then I feel here, this is where you are leaving from. Perhaps you feel like you have hit rock bottom, but there's no way, like you've hit a wall. It doesn't mean that you're destitute, that you're on the streets using drugs like we think of the word rock bottom would be. But perhaps, I mean, look at all the greenery here, and it's like you can meander about and things are just not so bad, except there's nowhere to go. You've hit a wall, you've hit a ceiling, and there's really nowhere else to go. And the same thing is reflected on top. So there is a paved way that you have traveled, perhaps, and you've been meandering about, but your time is up here. And it's time to find out exactly what is going on beyond this wall, beyond this bottom. So that is, again, you know, number 1 is the beginnings, and 0 is the fool's journey. It's the complete perfect number, and it's all about taking a chance. So this could be taking a chance on something completely new. Kind of curious as to what this is. Okay. So you can't go back to yesterday being the present. Excuse me. So I have number 44 since I was number focused here. You might have something for you in pile number 4 or 44, the last pile for you as well. But you can't go back to yesterday. So this is almost like sending this little creature out. I don't know if this is an eagle or what, but he can obviously fly high and get the scoop, the lay of the land, and even find like resources for you and alert you to danger and let you know exactly where, what, and what for all. So I feel like there's an element of like we want to cling to the past or to the known at least. We want that life jacket, that lifesaver, whatever it may be for you, whether it's relationships or a place that you've lived in, whatever the case may be. But it's time to go ahead and look at the bigger scheme of things. It's almost like looking at Google Earth and zooming out instead of zooming in, and looking at your surrounding areas and getting a higher perspective of what's around you so that you can actually get out of this energy of feeling like there's nowhere to go, you've hit a wall. So you can actually travel and move forward. Okay, so again, I see a lot of the blue and a lot of the gold. So golds and blue can have something to do with part of your journey, speaking your truth, and maybe I don't want to say, I heard accumulating wealth, but I don't think it's about just making money. I think that's very 3D. I think for you, you're very spiritual minded, and so yeah, we all have to live in the 3D and be spiritual as well. But I feel like this is almost like your crowning glory is perhaps like how you speak or what your truth is. Okay, something to that effect. And for those that chose pile number 1, check, there's so much to unpack here. So I see right off the back, obviously, the bone collector. This to me really feels a little bit like cross between witchcraft, which that's not my thing, and shamanism. And I love how we start off with the circle right here, the circle of protection. So you are divinely protected. I think that is echoed in the sphere. However you travel, wherever you travel, you are actually divinely guided and protected, and even celebrated with the rose petals, okay? And I feel like the rose petals are even more like from your ancestors and people on this land or this terrain. So what I see she has in her hand is a peacock feather. And then, you know, Father Time, the clock right here. And we've got the rabbit. So there's a lot of different elements here. And of course, bones right here that some people actually cast bones to read futures or to read your current situation, whatever the case may be. But she has a halo also. And I heard endoplasm. I don't even really know if I said that right. But sometimes when people are channeling, it is said that you can actually see some kind of entity or endoplasm coming out through the top of their heads and whatnot. So that's interesting to me. But the bottom line is I feel like this is almost like a sacred circle around your mind. So you could be seeing a lot of circles, a lot of connections, a lot of connectivity. Okay, and I feel like almost like this bird flew out of its cage. So I feel like you're going to be leaving that situation. As far as bone collector goes, and some of you guys can actually be like into taxidermy or, you know, collecting different looking bones or painting them to make them look different, or just collecting ancient arrows and things like that. And some of you guys can actually collect clocks and watches and things like that. But for some reason, I have this peacock feather that I'm really focused on. And I feel like other people, because it almost looks like an eye, people look like you're trying to strut your stuff or show off or whatever. But I feel like she fans herself with this feather. And it's a great feather. And so that is almost like when you fan yourself, you get refreshed, you get wind, you get relief from the sun, from the scorching elements maybe. And I feel like for you, it's not a matter of like showing off. It is actually being your most authentic self. And I feel here that you are connecting to your ancestors of old, and the ancient ones, and to source and spirit. And that is part of what's going to help you travel the road. Okay, yeah, that is less traveled. We've all heard that before. Again, references to birds and then the bunny. And I think about like following the bunny, following the rabbit, down the rabbit hole. It could be that you are maybe going down different conspiracies, conspiracy theories. Maybe you're having a second awakening or first awakening. I feel like there's been a lot of dark night of the soul, a lot of purification, because actually that's what makes me think of the gold, is like when you burn gold, apparently, in a cistern, everything burns, and then what's left is like the pure nugget, the pure gold at the very end. So all the impurities have been burned off, and perhaps you've achieved a level of wisdom, because now this almost looks like hair, almost like Einstein hair. I think that you've achieved a level of wisdom that most of us can hope for. So that's what I'm getting for this. Again, it is a new beginning with what you have learned, with the pure gold of the lessons, the beautiful lessons that help compel you forward, okay? And so the advice for you is going to be slow and steady. So right here, did I not say she just came out of her shell? But this is slow and steady coming out of your shell. And I feel like also this is listening to ancient ones. Whenever I see a conch shell or whatever the shell's called, that goes in like a spiral, I think a lot of like mental activity, but I also think a lot of like listening and hearing. Because if you were to bring the shell up and she wasn't in there, obviously, then you would be able to hear remnants of like the ocean. And so that's what I remember as a child. But I feel like it's going to be slow and steady progress for you. And it is a situation that your home is going to be transmuting, transforming. It's very kind of blurry. Like it's almost like this shell is changing colors as we look at it. Then we see the grays and the blues and then the green overall. So there's heart healing. She is clutching her heart, looking at the past. And so perhaps you are doing this in secret, doing it in silence, and like almost holding your chest and feeling like, how can I move on? How can I move out of this situation? Things that have really drawn your heart to them. It could be past issues, people, places, and things, or leaving a home that you dearly love, that you grew up in. I don't know what your situation is, but then I see the sphere, an echo of this one as well. And there's actually bubbles all around her. And this mask is a beautiful mask. It's almost like, yeah, I don't, you know, I'm changing homes or changing jobs or whatever. I'm listening to spirit and I'm ready to fly, even though I'm a creature of the sea. And I have all these echoes of this light. So you could be looking at light codes, life paths as well. So maybe your life path number 1 or if I add them up, obviously 11 is going to get me a number 2. Maybe there's something for you in pile number 2. We shall see. And then number 1, of course, referencing to new beginnings. And number 2 is new beginning in your personal power. Okay, that's how I personally read intuitively, like that. So I feel like this is you really coming out of your shell, growing, learning to trust perhaps once again, acknowledging that perhaps you had a mask or wearing a mask currently, and even acknowledging that things have really touched you emotionally, or that you feel hurt or you're still wounded by, and you are in the state of healing. But I feel like wherever you're headed is going to be filled with emotion, because I see a lot of the blue here. Okay, so we're going to get a couple of clarifiers for you. That was a lot of information right there. So show me for my pile number 1 or number 1111. If they are drawn to this pile, why is the ship here? I'm curious about the ship, please, and show me now. The Hermit, yes. What did we just say? You're leaving the state of hermitness. Is that a word? It totally is not. But you're leaving the state of just like being a hermit, being within yourself. You've done all the growing that you can possibly do at this point in time. We're not meant to be an island, and I lecture myself, Grisel. That's not what we're designed to do, but here we are. And so I feel like you are in the actual desert, and there's so much color right at the edge. Like you're at the edge of coming out of your shell. The sun is shining. Things are going to start looking different. I feel like those clouds are going to start burning away, meaning that it's going to give you a lot more clarity. The Hermit is number 9. So you could feel a little bit in a state of like self-protection, defensiveness, and things like that. Okay, see why the ship is here. I feel like you're moving on from that Hermit. You're coming into your own, and I feel like there is a path of healing for you, as well as you're going to be illuminating the path for other people. I have a lot of pressure on my chest, my heart chakra, a little bit on my throat, so I feel like whatever it is that this healing is going to be really good for you. And I feel like, again, it comes from pure source, and it's going to really help to assist other people in their healing as well. So you haven't suffered just for the sake of. What else do we need to know about the journey for the number 11s or 1111, please? Show me now. The Knight of Inspiration. And this horse's hair is all about fire. Fiery, excited, even looking at like the 4th of July spectacle. That's kind of what I'm calling it, but I mean, it could be just really general fireworks. So actually, even July can have like a significant thing for you, a meaning or a significance as far as like how you travel. But this is freedom. This is escape from maybe perhaps the dry parched land, and we're headed to something else, something that gives us excitement along our journey, and something that really creates a lot of contrast with our lives. And maybe right now our lives are pretty monochromatic, so that could be what that is entailing right there. And what else do we need to know for my pile number 11s or 1111? Thank you. Ooh, check this out. So we got 3 flips. I wasn't intending on that, but here we are. Spirit does what it wants. Rest and rejuvenation is a time to take some rest, maybe meditation. Allow your energy to be cleared. Use some sage, clear your own energy. Do a limpia with an egg. If you don't know how to do that, maybe we should make a video, but there's tons of other people that have made them already. Again, the number 1, new beginnings, and the 9, just almost completion. So gather your energy up together, and a lot of the blue. So again, speaking your truth and healing, that is going to be your door to value. And I feel like somehow this is going to prepare you to move on, because the number 19 reduces to a 10, and then it goes back to the 1. So 111, right? But the door to value right here. So you are on a journey to get yourself a lot of stability and a lot of income, a lot of money, a lot of abundance. A cornucopia doesn't have to be abundance in. If you find, for example, I see bookshelves right here. If you find, for example, like just a whole library full of books that have been abandoned or something like that. Is that not like the cornucopia right there, like striking gold? And so I feel like whatever it is, you're going to feel abundance. You're going to feel that joy. You're going to feel that wealth. You're not going to be in that lack mentality any longer. It's going to feel very strong and stable for you. You are going to feel strong and stable. And this can have almost like a reference also to things that are like, I don't know, Asian descent, things like that, or maybe you're fascinated with feng shui, any of those elements. And I heard for Wonders Who of You, also, what is this called? Oh my gosh, I like heard it, but it's not in a tangible word. Runes, so runestones, you could be called to that as well, okay? And then for some of you, we have the man holding a coin, and I just had a lot of energy surge on the right side of my crown, which means like moving towards this. So it could be that you are moving towards a partnership or a person or a romantic situation with this person. Doesn't have to be a man, but somebody who exudes more of the masculine energy, that literally has a coin, that's willing, that's looking at you directly. It's like, look, I'm willing to deposit my time and energy, my effort, my abundance, and my wealth. I am banking on you because I believe in you. You could be going into business together or looking at how to, I don't know, kind of benefit each other, that kind of a thing. So that might be something. If this is romantic, then this person is going to basically look at you and see, okay, this person is somebody I can invest in, and this person is going to really like what they see. So for some, this monochromatic lady right here is not going to be attractive, but for this person, you're very attractive, okay? And it's because energy begets energy. It has to be the same frequency. It's like on the radio. You can't tune into 101.5 and expect 99 point whatever. It's just not going to work that way. You have to be on the same frequency to accept the messages and to be able to hear things properly, right? So I have the number 43, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I counted on my fingers. If you guys know anything about me, it happens. So the 7, I feel like this person is going to be also spiritual minded, and that's why it's going to be almost like an instant connection. It'll be slow and gradual. The biggest key thing that I see in this whole reading, look, slow and steady, okay? Slow and steady wins the race. Be gentle with yourself and with others, and much love to you. Namaste. Hi there, for those of you that have chosen 222, or you chose by the image, or you chose just the number 22, however you chose this card, this is your reading. So first of all, if you've been seeing numbers like 2, 22, 222, all of those things, I feel like this has a lot to do with your personal power. This is about achieving balance, balancing everything around you. I feel also that you're a keen observer, that you have a wish that you want, and perhaps this is about birthing something that's going to give you stability, okay? Because with that, I feel, excuse me, quite a bit of like the Emperor vibes. And you could be in the middle of a field that grows nothing, and all of a sudden you are sitting on something, an idea, a notion, a dream, a passion that you've been nurturing, that you have not really shared with a lot of people or perhaps anyone at all. And it's something that you've been sitting on. Maybe you've been creating something. I want to say on the slide, but that's not even how I mean it. You've been creating something kind of in secret or quietly so that you can actually look around and see when it is safe to go ahead and deploy this idea, this notion, or crack that egg open. So however this applies to you. But I feel like you have a lot of dreams, a lot of ideas with that dandelion. And if the bird were able to kind of blow it, the seeds would go everywhere. And I'm just going to say that your dreams are going to really help a lot of different people. I feel like they are seeds of like wisdom and hope for other people, some way, somehow. I know it sounds really weird, but these little seeds do implant and embed themselves in the weirdest places, and that is how you get all of these lovely little dandelions that we love to mow with our lawnmowers. But I think that it's going to be really interesting because I feel like you do have a desire and a wish, but you want things to be stable. So you're not willing to kind of unveil, uncover, or move forward with this. It's still in the nesting process, still in the protective mode. So you have this little idea. It's not a little idea, but you get my meaning. This beautiful thing that you want to cherish and bring forth into the world, and it's still being protected, divinely protected. I do feel like you have a lot of wisdom. You are watchful. I do feel like you actually get messages in that point where you're like between sleep and awakening state, like that twilight. So you could be getting quite a few downloads during that state. And I feel for some of you guys are getting messages of like danger. I don't know why this is coming up. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. So you could be feeling like you're getting caution. Like messages of, oh, be careful with so-and-so or this or that or the other. And I heard the word surveillance. So some of you guys are really concerned with like who is maybe... I heard like under surveillance or who's being watched, that kind of a thing. So it doesn't have to be formal like the FBI or anything like that would be surveilling you necessarily, but there could be concern of like plagiarism, that other people would kind of try to steal what it is that you're creating, or perhaps that you are just being scrutinized highly and being watched all the time, something to that effect. This is not for everyone. I want to clarify, okay? For the rest of you, this is just saying that you have been really cautious and watching how people kind of react, what they need, how they act, and you are protecting your dreams. With the number 2 and 2 is bringing about a balance. Once I add them up, it is a nod to the Emperor. Talking about 4. The 4 to me is like stability. The 4 is authority, the 4 corners of your world, 4 corners of your home, your foundation, how you run things, and things like that, okay? So it could be a message for you. And palette number 4. So here, I have coming to life. So you could be feeling like you are coming to life, or things are coming to life, almost like you've been stuck. This person seems to be frozen and stuck. And there could be a message for you in palette number 111 as well. Because this kind of reminds me of a girl here. Let me just show you real quick. And the number 11, that is frozen. Those seem to be her colors. And it's almost a similar idea. So you could have been feeling stuck or feeling like your life is monochromatic, not going anywhere. There is change. And you have been evolving and changing quite a bit, like an accelerated rate. You could be listening to the beat of your own drum. You could be into drumming, sacred geometry, dancing, belly dancing, breath work, even having like some ballet moments at home, even if you're not professional. Hey, it happens, guys. Don't judge, okay? But I feel like you could even be like making costumes, dealing with a Ren fair, or making costumes for the fair, or enjoy that sort of thing, cosplay. And then you have your sphere, and I feel like this is like almost like I heard a sphere of truth. So it could be that you're really focusing on what is like true and true for you. You're feeling a little bit stuck, but this is almost transforming, and pretty soon you'll be able to move. So number 2 again, your personal power. I feel like you're embodying exactly who you are. The number 9 is the cycle's almost ending. So I feel with that, that's not ominous, but that's not what it means. It just basically means that it's almost time that you can actually set yourself free and be your most authentic version of yourself, okay? Because we have many different versions. I'm not the same person I was when I was a teenager, or in my 20s, or in my 30s, or in my 40s, and here we are. So I've got this little critter right here with the transformational butterfly, and it's coming to life. So this is like you are transforming and bringing things into the 3D realm, and you're also ascending, okay? You may have had to elbow your way through a couple of ugly situations. Maybe you had to elbow through with words, using your throat chakra. This, again, the blue refers to me and her throat chakra. And there is an element of her kind of like putting her hand over her sacral chakra. So I feel like this is what makes you come to life, what makes you dream big, what makes you feel excited and ooey gooey, whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's poetry. connecting with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, looking at the stars, stargazing, getting your downloads from the sun, light codes, anything like that that makes you different and unique. I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy here. It's, oh yeah, okay. For number 222, you guys have had a fight, I feel. You could be even considered, like, people can look at you and think that you're a scrapper or something like that, or that you're a fighter. With this, I feel like elbowing your way through things. It's like you've had to really assert yourself. And at times I feel like you've just gotten to where you can't contain your temper anymore. I can relate to that. So don't let your anger to rule you. It's the number 20, reduces to a 2. This is all about your personal power. Don't give your personal power away with getting angry with things, situations that you can't control. She seems to have an attitude problem. And look at the cat hair. It's just cheesy as can be. So I feel like you could maybe have knee-jerk responses to situations or to people, and it's going to be really important that you root back to your root chakra. You get more grounded, and that way these things can't like really elicit bad behavior or things that you can't take back once it's done. Okay, so this could have caused some problems with you throughout your life, I feel, the temper, and I can relate to that as well. The number 2, the gentle gardener. So we have here a whole bunch of eggs being hatched. And here, this is almost like Mother Earth or Gaia, just lending her shade, maybe just a little bit, her wisdom, her light. And so I feel like you could be really influencing people around you. Maybe it's little ones, maybe it's people that are just spiritually growing, evolving, people that have undergone like the dark night of soul or are currently just engaged in it, and you can actually help those people if you wanted to. There is blue sky, so your words can carry a lot of wisdom, a lot of power to help these hatchlings to grow and to get through the dark night of soul, to get through whatever gestation period that they are undergoing currently, whether it's professionally, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Okay, I feel also like there's an element of, I heard eating garbage, basically not having a clean diet. So be aware of your diet. I'm always working on that. I love my chips, don't judge me. So the number 2 is about your personal power and just being a gentle gardener. Maybe you want to get your hands in the dirt as well, just to balance you, if nothing else. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to garden, but gardening can really inspire you on how to go, how to move through life, and even how we ourselves are pruned for the better, to produce better crop, you know, and therefore like our best version of ourselves. And that can be something that you're reflecting on as well. You could be a grandparent, a grandmother, or simply have that mother instinct that you mother people around you and they look to you for answers because you have a lot of personal power that is actually visible with you, okay? Also, if you didn't see the number 2 or the number 20 or 222, anything like that, once again, your personal power is being addressed. And the number 0, taking a chance. Leaving the carousel. I feel like this horse was once upon a time on the around carousel that we put our kids into when we go to the fair, things like that. And so this horse has broken free from what has trapped him or her. And it's just actually flying with all the different colors. There's actual joy. There is freedom here. There is a lot of, I heard risk taking. It could be a risk, yeah. There is some clouds here indicating some brain fog, brain clouds, things like that. Things could not be super clear. I see these round things. I'm not sure what they are, but they look like almost like spheres kind of a thing. Bubbles here. There could be an element of like dreaming or manifesting in the dream state. You could work with art, you could work with colors, things like that, any way, shape, or form. And then for some of you, I'm looking at the crop, what is it, the crop fields? Oh my goodness, okay. So if you guys remember, I think in the news a couple of years ago, they had these crop circles is what it's called. And they were making news everywhere, and now it's kind of like unheard of to even it's not featured on the mainstream media anyways. But you could be developing like a love or passion or a drive to kind of jump in with the whole conspiracy theorists and things like that and explore, okay, what exactly were the crop circles. And this can lead you down a merry maze, okay? It could be something that you're interested in. But you could feel like you are flying, that you are just by leaps and bounds growing, and that everything rests once again on what it is that you are intending on growing and blooming and creating here. So let's see a little bit more from a pile 222s. What is it that we have for you? Pile number 2, what do we have for you? Show me now. The Muse of Emotion. So we have got a lot of color here. We have, first of all, I look at the black and white here, and I think like not everything is black and white. It's going to be everything perhaps that was black and white. I feel like you're going to be turning things inside out, inverting things and seeing things completely different. I think that this is going to be emotionally gratifying. I even see like a little ship or a canoe boat thingy here. And so I feel like that is movement and progress, but not at a rush pace. Like even the gardener, slow and steady. Wins a race, right? The gardener takes their time and knows that things don't sprout overnight. I'm going to read to you from this Muse of Emotions. The key words are compassion, joy, freedom to feel all the emotions as you go to self-discovery, transcendent states of bliss, meditation, inner calm, and knowing, being totally in touch with your desires and with balance and peaceful emotions, avoiding moodiness. Avoiding anger, pile number 2. Come, tiny vessel of love, to the place where the water drops off and pours everything onto the sweet shell of life. This message of highest love resides where all the bits and pieces of your anger and sadness are brewed and alchemized into beautiful experiences for the soul. See, talks about anger. For they, too, are experiences to be cherished and learned from. Come meditatively, quietly, calmly, with everything you are. Leave nothing behind, for you will need it in this place of mindful understanding. Steer clear of manipulation and moodiness, and come into the night of the sweet waves of kindness, for there are the waves that will push you past the ripple. They'll float you to the sandbanks of connection and invite you to explore your inner world with the gentlest compassion. Your task is simply to be true to your heart and accept the nature that is, as the healing waters of pure love are headed your way. I love that. So it talks about emotional gratification as well. So whatever your intention is, I feel like this is part of your journey and you want it to be emotionally gratified. Now I'm very curious as to what the personal power, and then when you add them, excuse me, you get the number 4. I want to ask about this egg. So what about this egg? What else do we need to know about this egg for my pile number 2? Show me now. The Ace of Materials. This is going to bring you, I feel like it's an idea that's going to bring you money, that's going to bring you wealth, abundance, that's going to make you feel abundant more than anything, even more so than the dollar amount. I feel like it's something very earthy, very natural to you, okay? Whether you make teas, whether you make purses, whether you create homeopathic medicine, bracelets, jewelry, whatever the case may be, this is very natural for you to actually engage in. And I do feel like it's a creation that'll bring initially a small amount of return, but it is more than likely a sure thing as long as you have the correct intention. Okay, 3 of material. Yeah, so cooperation is going to really help this skyrocket, elevate. I feel like when you're ready to pull the trigger and you launch whatever this is, it is going to be like climbing the ladder quickly. If you collaborate when you're ready, it's going to bring about a lot of abundance, a lot of attention. I feel like people will look at it favorably. I feel like also your sacral chakra will be triggered, and it's going to give you a feeling of pleasure, of excitement, of warmth, of maybe even like a sense of joy, okay? That is associated with joy. You could be somebody who likes to braid their hair, or you could be thinking about braiding hair, or this could even be affiliated with like a hair product. I don't know, okay? It's different for everybody. But right here you have collaboration. For example, maybe you have one friend that is good with graphics, other friend that's good at social media, or whatever the case may be, and some other person is really good at modeling. So whatever it is, they can model this prototype, or you can collaborate some way, somehow, so everybody benefits and actually get some like visible exposure so that you can continue creating. This is even creating together. So that might be also something in pile number 3 for you as well. I don't know, okay? So I flip this over and I've got the Knight of Voices. So this is somebody who wants clarity, who wants to come towards you quickly. I'm going to leave it here, so this will take as well. That wants, you know, quick answers. It's like, give me the truth, nothing but the truth. Give me the bottom line. What is the bottom dollar? And you just see the numbers, things like that. And they want it fast. And so this could embody your energy or somebody else's. But I feel like this is going to give you, like, you desire quick answers. You want the freedom. And there's still a lot of purity in whatever it is that you're designing. It is not just to make a dollar, not just to invest, to gain wealth. It is something a lot more elevated and spiritual. And so whatever this is pretty beautiful. I think that spirit is definitely behind you, but just be careful with the energy of rushing, okay? So know that you want this, a solar plexus color, combined with a sacral chakra color, a little tinge of it here. It's telling me that these two are connected. So this is like, the, you know, your self-power. The number 2 or the 22 for me talks about personal power. And even though the solar plexus is the 3rd chakra, I feel like this is more like your, you know, your personal power chakra. That is because it's about your will and what you desire, okay? So that is being referenced and affirmed. So I'm going to flip these cards over because I'm taking that last one for you. And this is the 6 of material. So this is being generous, being able to be generous with other people. I see a lot of gold. Again, you could have something in it with pile number 1, but gold is just about abundance and that beauty and that heavenly, divinely guided gift of being able to give out to the world and to receive back generously. And this is from a place of like joy in creating. So all these roses take time to bloom, take time to grow. And I feel like with given a little bit of time that you're going to have enough to be able to be generous and happy and helpful with other people. And I think it's going to create a sense of community. Like where here feels very isolated, this is like teamwork and community, and that's where you're headed. So if you like this reading, please do smash the like button, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you at the next reading. Namaste. Hi, pile number 3. If you were drawn to 33 or 333 or 3333, whatever the case may be, or if you were simply drawn for the picture itself, this is your reading. First thing I want to say is that the number 3 here, it's actually making me feel a lot of like Nikola Tesla. So you could have something to do with maybe you're interested or fascinated with Tesla and all of his theories and discoveries. You could be fascinated with the 369, all of that. But also I feel like there is a measure of cooperation. And I feel like if this isn't in your life this minute, collaboration, elation I heard, it's coming to you and for you. So there's a lot. She's wearing red right here. That reminds me of the root chakra. This is about stability, how you earn your keep, your home, it could be your business, whatever it is, that makes you feel stable and solid. This little girl is leaping basically for joy, peaks of joy. And she has a butterfly right here. So I feel like we're welcoming change, welcoming and seeing like the benefits of transformation. Sometimes we get stuck in the butterfly when it's in the cocoon stage and it's trying to wrestle and wrangle its way out. And that could be painful and that could be not so easy and discombobulating for some of us that like stability or like things in a certain way. And I feel like currently you are in this state, or will be soon, that you can actually experience these peaks of joy, experience this like leveling up, this transformation. Specifically understanding what it's like to cooperate with souls that are very similar in vibration to you. So it could be that you're meeting people or collaborating with people and making things or creating events or spending time with people that have the same vibration as you do. For some of you guys, it could be sewing groups or sewing for a cause or making like knitting or needlepoint, anything like that. It could be even like cooking for a cause. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you. Now, I'm going to say that there has been like some clouds and some cloudy thinking, perhaps. Not really sure how everything is coming together. Just like one person goes, oh, hey, I'll do this. And you're like, oh, okay, we'll integrate that too. I don't know how it's going to work, but somehow it just creates joy in all of you. So I feel like it's collaborating with at least one other person with more to come. Hence, like this, you know, I feel like the 369 vibe, even though it's not displayed here. Creativity, a lot of creativity, a lot of thinking, a lot of, I feel like you're getting even a lot of downloads. This person is getting a lot of downloads, I feel, that are solid from spirit. And I think it leaves you in a state of like thinking, pensiveness, even the wizard of awareness we have here. This is a person who manifests, who is aware of what they can create, aware that they can actually put their hand almost into the cosmos and pull out different ideas and gain the support that they need to make those come to fruition. And sometimes it's a matter of like choosing the right one for you, or choosing at the right time, or choosing people that you can collaborate with. Now, I feel like there's a little element of hesitancy here, simply because you might get into your emotions. I'm getting that as I feel like this person has almost like a merman outfit or suit or part scales, something like that. And I feel like you can get into your emotions and thinking about how is this going to work? Is this going to create abundance? However that looks to you, whether it's money, health, just creating something, to me, is actually abundance in itself. It's just fun to do. And you can get a little bit lost in a maze of thought of how this is going to manifest. You can overanalyze things. So I feel like you have like a good sense of a good head on your shoulder, okay? Just, you're not just going to jump in at any crazy idea and just do it, even though that probably would work out for you. But I think that you're going to give a lot of thought, and I think that you need that staff of illumination, whatever it is that gets you fired up, excited. You also need more clarity on what path to go down, like which projects to choose and which people to collaborate with. And as I said that, I just saw the 444 on my camera. So I feel like pile number 4 can have something in there for you. I don't even know what it's about because we're only doing 3 so far. But with a 4, that's an indication of like stability for me. Stability, and also the Emperor energy, how things are organized, organizations, things that have a hierarchy of that nature. Okay, so you could be a little bit looking at, well, how would that look? How would that work? How does this, and all the logistics of these ideas, if you go too far down that maze, it can keep these ideas trapped in your mind a little bit longer than they need to. Not that it's a bad idea, but we can get stuck in the paralysis of analysis, number 3. So don't forget that then this is all about manifesting and growing, and whatever it is that you want to grow, whatever it is that you want to, I feel like launching projects, creative ventures, things like that. Don't overthink it too much, because sometimes that logic and the creativity don't really mix well. Sometimes it's just nice to jump in and create, and then we can fine tune with the logic later. But, you know, that's just me. So you'll want to just kind of be careful that you're not just overthinking your creative endeavors or creative collaborations, because if you kind of overthink and it's like, well, this person's brand looks like this, do I really want to bring it into any sort of affiliation with my brand, where they're really totally different or they're really too similar, whatever the case may be. Just know that whatever it is that you create yourself in your hands and your mind and with your spirit is going to be different than anyone else's. Yeah, so I definitely see that. And you could have like different ideas of things that you've been sitting on for some time. Making a choice. So perhaps this is stating that you need to start with at least making one choice. Okay, who are you going to collaborate with? What door are you going to go through first? So there is a need. It's like the terrain isn't like, you're not going to be sure-footed here. You've got to be really careful, perhaps using that staff for balance. And on either side, you can actually fall. What are you going to fall into? We don't know. And so there can be an element of, well, if I fall, I can fall financially, I can fall flat on my face, or anything like that. Right here, I feel like it's a little bird. I heard songbird. I don't know what songbird looks like, but I feel like you're being led to making a choice. And it's like you might get these little quips or these little bird messages that say, hey, it's time, it's time. Like, you've been sitting on this long enough. Are you going to pull the trigger and do something about it? And I feel like you already have had a lot of messages as to what door to walk through or open, whatever the case may be, however you want to look at this. And it's actually time to not put your money where your mouth is, but time to kind of get off that throne and create a movement, like move towards what it is that you desire. So we again have a lot of like the unknown. I feel like these clouds could be, you know, a lack of clarity or just not being able to see things as clear as you want. There is blue right here. Just, it's like the path where you're at now, I can see totally clear, but where I'm headed, I don't really know. And so the road splits. There is a need to make a decision. And I see 3 highlighted words right here. And so you're going to actually have to make a choice pretty soon. It's like continue to think about things, continue to think about how things are tough or how the road ahead is just rough. And do I even do it? It might be just too tough to even walk on. And then you're going to have to make a decision or just continue thinking about it. And that thinking will not get you the level of excitement and clarity and movement, of course, that you want with this creative card right here. Manage to be glad. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. So I feel like maybe you're wanting, again, more of a sure thing. Like this road, you want it paved, maybe paved in grass or paved, you know, evenly so you can kind of run your chariot through it, or it's like easily walked upon. And things are not necessarily looking that way, but, you know, nothing necessarily worth its effort or worth its weight in salt is quite easy all the time. By managing to be glad and creating your own happiness regardless of the conditions, just even having the opportunity, 2 opportunities or even 3, I feel, collaborating or 3 different directions, whatever the case may be. It's like you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of creativity in you, an ability to collaborate and make things happen in a way that other people don't understand or see. And even these little creatures looks like skunk. They look like little skunks with, I don't even know what that is. It's almost like their nose has been pulled into these really beautiful colors. And it's almost like you can make or create things in a way that nobody ever would have thought would be beautiful out of nothing or out of something that people deem unpleasant. Okay, so it could be like sculptures or whatever the case may be, upcycled things, recycled things, recycled art. And people would like typically turn their nose at it, but they don't have the vision, the creativity, and the wherewithal to handle things the way you do. And so being glad that you can even go through the process, you know, some people have no choices. And many people have no creativity or the desire to collaborate. I feel like even here, this door would be more like, to me, the door to the future. This is something that you've done in the past. So it could be somebody that you've collaborated with in the past or somebody that you want to collaborate with in the future. And even perhaps both. But you need to make a choice to kind of get things moving initially, okay? Yeah, so I see, like, right now, noticing storm clouds on the door that I would deem from the past. And then this one is for the future. I would definitely choose the new over the old. And then eventually you might be able to bring in that other element or that other person to collaborate as well. What else do I need to see? Show me what I need to see for my pile number 3s, or 333. Show me now. The Ace of Inspiration. So you have that clarity, that wisdom. I feel, again, like color can inspire you. Color can really easily influence you. So be careful, like what colors you're wearing or what it is that you're surrounding yourself with, because that can have a positive or negative effect. And again, I'm just seeing here like this cacti right behind her neck, and it's like nobody's going to lean upon that, but for some reason you're resting upon it. So it could have something to do with like Southwestern art or like reinventing something to that effect. It makes me think of a TikTok that I saw with indigenous women, like making their own coats and things like that, and they show you from start to finish what it looks like, and they're just really quite beautiful from materials that they actually have around them. And this right here, it's a succulent, but it just doesn't really seem appealing or wearable, and yet here you are with the ability to wear it and make it appealing as well. So I feel like there's an element of reinventing, reconnecting, being inspired again. Being inspired also by the current times. I feel even these little things to me even look like current events of what, you know, with what they say the coronavirus looks like. That could be for one person, I don't even know. But perhaps you're looking at making art or making kind of a monument or something, a dedication or something. But I feel like it could be very tribal, very very different than what anyone would expect, with the use of colors in a way that people would not expect. What else do we need to know about my pile number 3, please? Pile number 3, show me now. I feel like some of you guys are working with stained glass windows, things like that. 10 of emotions. This is going to bring about a lot of emotional gratification. I think it's going to make you feel inside that you can just dance with each petal created right here. It seems like there is a rejoicing of like, oh my gosh, look at this and look at this. Enjoying the layers of life, enjoying the layers of the process, enjoying every step of the way. So managing to be glad and creating your own happiness regardless of the conditions. Like we all want that final outcome. Oh my goodness, as I dump this into the fire, right? But, you know, the final outcome, maybe it's not really about the end, it's about the journey. Okay, we're all discombobulated here. Maybe you're feeling discombobulated. Okay, what else do we need to know about my pile number 3? About this collaboration, about this creativity, this flow, being in the flow. I heard the word prismatic. I see actually a prism. You could have an affinity for prisms, for triangles, for anything of that nature as well. And show me now. The Knight of Emotions. I think that this brings you a lot of joy. I think you have a lot of joy coming forward. There is so much freedom to be had here. I think that you'll be able to show off, not saying you're show off, but when you collaborate with other people, when you perhaps listen to other people, listen to your ancestors, listen to even the little fish at times. This horse has so much happiness, and it feels like this horse is stomping in shallow water. And that's just emotional gratification. So there's even like on its muzzle here, that's a muzzle, but I see a little starfish, and it's just, I feel like regeneration. It can make you feel regenerated. So don't discount what people actually say to you when you're trying to collaborate. Don't be so dismissive. Really take a little bit of time to think about it and see if it resonates with you. If it rings in your ears in the middle of the night and you keep thinking about it, it's something there for you, okay? But I definitely see the white horse. It's like there's a lot of like pure motive, but there's a desire that you're raring to go that is all about elevating and creativity and purity in a way you don't want to change the purity of your vision, I feel. And that's what this is stating. So with that, I hope this made sense to you. Smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, And until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 4. If you chose number 44, 444, or pile number 4, or if you simply selected based on the beautiful graphics on this card, welcome to your reading. So first thing I want to say is, again, I have the feeling of creation, of holding Mother Earth, of thinking about rejuvenating, thinking about stability, thinking about how everything goes through phases. I feel like even the ground here might be encrusted in a layer of snow, ice, if you will. And depending on where you live and what time, because these are timeless, what time you are watching this reading, it could indicate, you know, spring. For me, it is currently springtime, even though I live in Arizona in the US, and it is not really spring, it's already hot. But regardless, you could feel things around you kind of melting and changing and allowing for new growth to come through, for you to be able to see the beauty in things around you. I feel like there is a desire to get out there and get your hands, quote, dirty, to feel nature itself. You could be somebody that's like, what do they call it? When you walk around barefooting, earthing person. You enjoy like balancing your electromagnetic field by putting the soles of your feet in bare dirt or grass or whatever. You could be a gardener or somebody who loves, I heard hydroponics, I heard, yeah, so somebody that enjoys like even splicing different plants and trying to make a third one grow just to see if you can. So experimenting with different things. But I feel like you can even be like a kitchen witch, a garden witch, anything like that. Having a lot to do with like teas or homeopathic natural remedies and things like that to really help you live your most authentic and healthy self. And kudos to you. The green could have a lot of draw to you. Anything that's green with their heart chakra, I feel like your heart is actually open and free. And there is, and if it hasn't, I feel like that whatever has held you, maybe frozen in a state of not being open and free, is going to be melting. And indeed, you feel the warmth melting away now as we are speaking. So yeah, autumn can be indicated, leaves falling as well. And you can be even reaching for something from the past, kind of like looking at the past, wanting to recreate something, wanting to heal Mother Earth, Mother Nature, taking green green causes to heart, leaving the minimal carbon footprint if possible. Some of you guys are into recycling, upcycling, minimalist lifestyle, scaling back and really living maybe off the grid. Some of you guys would even love to be able to live in the middle of forest and just feel free. Some of you believe in fairies, and that gives you great stability and ability to play as well. For the most part, I feel like this is my pile that is really balanced, feeling like they have the four corners of the earth, even if you don't have like a home of your own or a house, or even if you are currently in a state where you're going to be moving. I feel like you are solid, like you know what to you is the four corners of the earth, what is your stability. It doesn't have to be an actual home, but it is about order, law and order. You could be looking at the balance of the cosmos and the balance of nature herself and things like that. So there could be a lot of a connection with the rainforest, with the redwoods, with butterflies, and again, fairy energy, the fae. I think that's really cool. Excuse me. Spirit of place. So this could be even like, I feel like she's wanting to kind of travel almost to somewhere that she had been of long ago, or maybe she's wanted to head somewhere, maybe a different location where she's thinking about autumn or what happened when she was in a place and it was autumn at that point in time. So maybe she just wants to travel and visit that place to feel more grounded, to feel more serene, connect more with her ancestors or his ancestors. This is not about sex, it's about energy. This is even about communion with the trees, with Mother Earth, however you see that fit. And it could be that something was brought to your attention, and one of these experiences for one of you guys, it could be like an, oh my gosh, ayahuasca experience. And now I think I said that wrong. But anyways, you know what I would be talking about. And so this would be where you kind of met, almost like met yourself, or met your connection with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, things like that. It really transformed how you see life and how you view yourself, and you're part of it. And it helps to really eliminate and be okay with the different cycles of life, okay? So if you're a little bit older and experiencing, you know, like middle age, or transforming from a teen to an adult, or from your 20s to your 30s, whatever the case may be, it could indicate being okay with like the passage of time and how different the leaves look with each, I guess, transitional change, okay? So it could have something to do with that. But I feel like this is you getting fully grounded and almost like awoken, and you want to visit that state again. For some of you guys, it is, I heard, like mushrooms, so you could be experimenting with substances, I don't know, okay? For some of you guys, this can have to do a connection with your father or a father figure or authority, as indicated by the number 4 and the Emperor. So I have followed the leader, and this is the passage of time. It's almost like you want to go back and kind of revisit, redo, and it's not to relive a situation where you want to go back to the past necessarily, but it could be a situation where you want to relive that experience to see how much more you can grow, how much more you can get out of it. And it's just kind of a gentle road. Maybe you're making different friends along the way that you never thought you would have been friends with, that you would have ever had anything common with, but they share your desire for change, for growth, for spiritual elevation, for wisdom, for downloading things that you can get through the cosmos, through Mother Earth, and through the elements herself. And your card says, shine bright like a candle. So some of you guys have had like the dark night of the soul experiences, and you have found joy and completeness and serenity and a thrill and a joy and a will to live through perhaps like Mother Earth, Mother Nature, things like that. And this is just letting you know that you will make it through this, that desire of leaving the cold ice. If you've been frozen out of a situation, frozen out of people's lives, if you yourself have had to be the one to freeze people out of your life, you're going to have new friends that are going to help you along your journey, your true core, most authentic spiritual self journey. That's going to lend a balance to you. That's going to lend a structure and a strength to you. People that you can rely on at different times that don't, you're not looking with like physical eyes anymore. You are definitely looking with spiritual eyes. Maybe somebody's undergone like similar circumstances. They look totally different from you, even demographically or generationally. They're totally not within your bracket, but that's not going to matter any longer, because you know that you can extend that light, that bright candle light, and you can help other people, and you wind up helping each other. Maybe in a cooking scenario, somebody has milk and you have sugar, and somebody else has the egg, and that kind of a thing. And at different times you might need different ingredients from one another, so one size does not fit all. And what is helping to thaw things around your heart and opening up for you in the world right now, it's going to really lead to different adventures. So you're going to want to be open to that, and be sure that you're not so fixed on, okay, well, I have this house and I can't move and this and that. I totally understand that. But journeys can be different journeys. They could be like little trips. They could be venturing out for the day. They could be jumping in an RV and just going, or taking a van and going somewhere. So whatever venture you feel like that is. For some of you guys, this is a door to romance, okay? So the door to romance. Allow your candle to shine brightly, and you'll make it through this. So maybe what is thawing is the lack of love and your isolation with just nature and yourself. Maybe you've been in isolation, and there is a thawing here and a rejuvenation with your romantic lifestyle. I feel like it will bring stability. It is too hard to have love. It's been a heart that's been caged Perhaps you've been feeling like you've been somewhat in a cage, even though you're growing by leaps and bounds, enjoying yourself. This will lend stability with cooperation, collaboration. Pile number 3 can have really some help and impact for you as well. But this is collaborating with another person in the romantic field. If you're not already attached, this should be new romance. If you are already attached, this could be renewing love and discussing and breaking what has kept things, this heart in a cage thus far. So it could be something like that. What else do we have for pile number 4, please? Pile number 4. Show me now. You're incredibly strong. It didn't address even the obvious, that it says strength. You have incredible strength and versatility. You have the ability to bring, I feel like, stability to other people around you, almost like laying a foundation. Even if you guys don't have like a place of your own or things like that, it's not a stability that it could be bought with money. It's a stability of knowing that I'm solid, that, you know, everything's going to be okay regardless of what happens around you. It's having a faith and a calmness and a willpower to know that you're going to see things through, even when it gets to be icy and crusty out there. And that lends a lot of support to people around you and a lot of faith in you as well, by the way. Okay, so we have this lurker here, deceit. So the number 25, 2 is about personal power, 5 is about change. And this could be somebody who is trying to change your personal power. So perhaps in the past, the reason why this is all frozen is that this person, whoever that he or she is, decided they wanted to really kind of steal and rob your personal power and manipulate it, because 5 to me is about change. And it's about deceit. It could be about deception, lies, control, issues like that. So this could reference to 1 or 2 of you, but that really shook your stability. And yet at a time, you could have been when you were younger that you actually not welcomed it, but it felt like love, or it felt like it was right for whatever reason. And I think that I mean, look at this. These 2 don't fit anywhere near each other. So that life is not the life for you. That is not your story any longer. But I think that you could have been surrounded by deceit, and you are woke and you're not taking it any longer. And that story is not for you forever. So you've learned what you've learned. You've managed to kind of escape this energy. However, you could, even if you're in this relationship right now, you have found your personal freedom. Like, you cannot be controlled any longer. So this scenario, I feel like it's more pertaining to a past scenario. A controlling person, somebody who had designs on you, a great strategist who was a real a-hole, by the way. What else do we need to know about our pile number 4? Show me now. Yeah, materials, yeah. So you worked hard. You've done all the work. You've had your hand in all the pies, willing to work hard, maybe even perhaps yo-yoing. I never noticed before, but these appear to be yo-yo-like. It's like you're playing yo-yo with these roses. It could have been this energy yo-yoed in and out of your life periodically, and it's something that is on the top of your mind. It's like, am I attracting that energy again or whatnot? But I feel like no, because whatever it is that you put your attention to, intention as well, effort, definitely. Whatever you roll up your sleeve for and get into nitty-gritty with, that's what's going to bloom. And so I feel like you're kind of playing around with different ideas on what has grown in this garden, what is currently growing. I think that this could be, again, collaborative effort. And you burning the midnight oil, whatever it is that you love to do. Maybe you've been studying a lot about plants, maybe studying about personal growth, people growth, heart chakra. I heard frequencies, musical notes and frequencies that can really affect the heart chakra, affect growth. Maybe you've been even playing music for plants. As crazy as it sounds, it happens. It could be anything like that. Maybe you're even making your own teas and things like that, or healing, and you've decided that you are going to take a very holistic approach on top of that, and maybe experiment with playing music on the tea or whatever the case may be, and just seeing if you can change the frequency and help boost its healing proprieties or things like that. So any one of those things could be a point of interest to you. But the point is that you've been working long and hard on whatever it is that this is to be able to move forward, okay? What else do we need to know? For my pile number 4, why is the world here? I also feel like for some of you, you've been carrying like the weight of the world on your shoulders, feeling extremely like oppressed, maybe even in isolation because of current events. Maybe feeling like you want to see the world healed, praying for the world, issues like that. Pile number 4. Why is this world here? And why is the materials here? Please show me now. Okay, 10 of Voices. Yeah, it's things that have rendered you, leveled you, made you feel like you can't move, you can't make a difference, and you're coming out of this energy. You've already succumbed. I feel like you've gone through a period of time where you were leveled. That's why you were ensconced in like iciness and in the winter theme, I guess. And you're growing out of that. Out of that, you actually grew when you thought you could just not go anymore beyond these betrayals and deceits and things like that. Maybe perhaps things that people said some nasty words to you or talked about you, talked crap about you, made you feel like, made you feel leveled almost, like, wow, you don't even know me, and made you feel in despair. She raised her hand to her forehead a little bit, and I feel like out of those painful situations, you have really outgrown that and recreated, reinvented yourself and brought out the best part of you. And you've survived. Not only have you survived, but you've thrived, okay? So if that is your story, I'm very sorry to hear that, but you have made leaps and bounds of changes. What else do we need to know? Yeah, the Empress. So you realize, I feel that the cosmos are within you, that everything is within you. I feel like right here, this talks about your solar plexus, your personal power again. Number 2 could have some messages for you as well. And so wearing yellow could really help boost and bolster that. I feel like some of you guys are exploring the cosmos, exploring astronomy, which is very different from astrology. Both of them can have merit. You could even be, for some of you guys, you're exploring the flat earth theory and things like that. And you're looking into different accounts perhaps that are like showing simulations of what is possible. But whatever the thing is I feel like it's bringing you joy. It's bringing you renewal. And the fact that she's got pink hair in this, I feel like it's bringing new abundance and awakening to love as well. Like you are growing by leaps and bounds. And the Empress is a creator. So I feel like you are almost like a mother, like Mother Earth, or some of you guys can be pregnant or wanting to get pregnant, looking how to enhance your fertility through homeopathic means and things like that. Whatever the case may be. It looks very prosperous, okay? What else do we need to know for pile number 4? For those that keep seeing 444, show me now. The Star. What? How did you get the best out of the whole deck? I love this one. The Moon and the Stars. I love them both. But in this one, there has so much reference to the Sun. But we have the Star, and this is your dreams, your wishes. Now, once you kind of notice like a repeat pattern in this, if I flip it over, it's almost like being released from whatever stabbed you, whatever rendered you. And I feel like out of this hardship, it's almost like the diamond getting crushed, right? That coal getting crushed before it becomes a diamond, or the oyster and all that pressure and irritation causes something beautiful and glamorous. In the same way, you are actually evolving and bringing everything that perhaps has hurt you, that you thought would crush you or leave you and in the cold or despondency, I heard, hope I said that right, is actually helping you to reach for the stars. You have a dream that's way bigger than anyone else can believe or even comprehend, and you have it within your grasp. So it's not illusion or dream. You've already projected out and manifested what it is that you want. You're bringing it to fruition, and pretty soon there'll be time to speak on it, to share with the world what it is that that dream is, that creation, what it is that you are manifesting. I feel like you have a lot of wisdom. This almost looks like Maria Antoinette like headdress thing, but her hair seems to be white. And so it could be that you love like could be cosplay or a reference to just having a lot of wisdom with the white hair, things like that. And you're coming out of this period of like, you know, the clouds are just beneath you and things are getting lighter. And so again, some of you guys are going to become mothers. So I feel like a baby boy, that would be your dream. And then others of you are simply birthing something that is actually totally attainable. You have it in your hand already and it is in the beginning stages, but you'll be able to share it with the world. Right now you're just protecting it. So if you write, if you're a writer, if you're writing a book, poetry, if you're creating something, you feel like it's not ready to be shared with the world just yet, but you have a lot of strength and you are the ultimate creator. So you will be sharing it soon. So continue that focus that you have. It is going to bring you a great feeling, contentment, of stability, of focusing on the great, like what it is. This is what I am, what I stand for, my solar plexus chakra. These meditations can really be helpful to you as well. And pretty soon you will be ready to share with the world, the rest of us, and vocalize what it is that you have brought forth. So it's not as far off as it seems, and you're not in La La Land. And so I'm really happy to see this for you, especially coming out of such dismal and such hardship and such oppression. So black tourmaline can be really helpful to you as well. Very grounding, very stabilizing, and warding off, I feel like, the evil eye, people that would wish you ill. So it would look like a chunk like this, okay? Or whatever you can find at your local crystal shop. So with that, if you like this reading, smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Until next time, namaste.